One of the biggest things I hear from people coming in from out of town is, are the local salaries keeping up with the rising costs? We are going to dive into all of that because we haven't visited inflation and cost of living since February of 2021. So buckle up, Buttercup, let's go! One of my favorite restaurants is a place called Costa Vida, shameless plug for them, and it used to cost us about $30-$35 to take the whole family out to eat. Now it costs us really about $50 each time. That is pretty much the standard now. Prices are going up. Groceries, I looked at some applesauce, some bananas, and it was like $50 worth of stuff. My wife said that it used to be about $20 worth of stuff on the table. Prices are going up, that's no secret. We gotta take a look at what is going up, what's staying the same. We're gonna take a look at median prices, we're gonna take a look at a whole bunch, but this is just a quick little snippet. But there is a good side. Some costs have actually stayed close to the same. So there is some good news. But let's take a look at the whole kit and caboodle. Groceries wise, we're spending almost 50% more than we were about 2 years ago on groceries. Now we do have a bigger family, so that does mean some of our kids' stomachs are growing in size, but our grocery costs have gone up about 50% since we last talked. Now, when we talk about utilities, what you're looking at now is water, electricity, gas for the house, internet, sewer. Those costs are really about the same. There hasn't been too much of a rise there. Where I have seen a difference is at the pump. Not even getting into politics. We're just talking about the price of the pump. Let's talk about gas in your car. We all know the price per gallon has gone way up, and that's more than 2x. Gas affects everything. It affects the food you eat because it got here via semi. It affects the car you drive because you put gas in your car. It affects the bottles you buy because those got shipped here. It affects everything. So gas is an indicator that affects a ton. We cannot escape gas. Gas has a huge effect on everything you buy. And when I mean everything, I can't think of one single thing that is not affected by gas. One thing that hasn't taken a hit are DMV fees. Now, thankfully, DMV fees to register your car is about the same as it was a couple years ago. So praise the heavens, that's one thing we got going for us. We talk about television at home. Those prices have also stayed roughly the same. The research we did on the fishing licenses says that the fishing costs have gone down. That's good news, but hunting prices have gone up. Golf prices have remained relatively the same, just going up about 10-20%. Home insurance, those prices have also gone up. Think about it. They give you a quote based on what it costs to rebuild your home. The costs have gone up significantly. Your quotes are higher. My car insurance steadily rises every year, by a few bucks. I haven't seen a big hit there. When we look at insurance costs, you can see on your screen there are quite a few different options: bronze, silvers, golds, different deductibles, different monthly payments. When you look at health insurance, you're looking at about $300 per person. Health insurance is a real zinger. It costs over $1,000 to insure your family, and that doesn't include the deductible that you're paying. So you're paying over $1,000 a month just to have the privilege of saying you have insurance, and then you get the privilege of paying a $7,000 deductible. What a treat. Health insurance is a real kick in the hiney. Let's talk home prices. It's something I work with every day. It's something that you will need to know where your budget is so that you can afford and live in a home and become an Idahoan. That is the dream. Since 2020, home prices have definitely gone up. We're gonna take this since 2021. We're looking at the median prices from the MLS, and we're looking at the left side is 2021, the right side is 2022, and we are looking at increases straight down the columns. When people say, hey, has it hit the bottom? Well, guys, the bottom, this isn't even the bottom in the last 2 years. Eagles up considerably, Stars up considerably, Meridian considerable, Middleton very considerable, holy mackerel. Boise, decent jump, Kuna, small jump, Nampa, decent jump, Garden City, barely a jump, very, very interesting. And Caldwell, another interesting one, barely up. It was a 3% jump, now it's about a 6 to 7% jump. Now, it's really interesting when people come and ask, how's the market? It really depends on which portion of the market you're talking to, different price ranges, different areas, and you can totally see in this chart, it really matters what area you're talking about. Now, we could dive into the numbers even deeper and say, which portion of the market are you heading into? The top quartile, second, third, fourth, there's different market segments in every market city. So pay attention to those. The market isn't just as a whole doing bad, isn't as a whole just doing great. There's different segments that do struggle and that do rise to the top. Now, interest rates, we know interest rates are a combat to inflation. So when inflation rises, so do interest rates. They're trying to bring back that money. Interest rates are about 5.5% to 7%, somewhere in there. We've seen that in the last month, just a little bit of some movement. When the market is moving like that, buyers buyers usually sit still, but don't be afraid to jump at a house price that's low, that gets you a low payment. And if that jumps 0.25%, remember, we are hoping and banking that inflation gets curbed and then the interest rates come down as well. Maintenance costs on your home, I don't think those have gone up any. Just plan for 1% of your home costs, and that should help you curb whatever it is. Add new landscape, breaking water heaters, HVAC systems, whatever it might be. Now, cost of living in Idaho, people all the time come and tell me, I don't want an HOA, I don't want an HOA, I don't want an HOA. Boise is run, and I say Boise, the whole Boise Valley, Treasure Valley, is run by HOAs. Not everything. What people are mostly looking for is no restrictions. There are bad and good that come with that. The good of HOAs in Boise Valley, you get your water to water your lawn. Irrigation comes from the canals, waters your lawn. That is quote unquote free because you get it through your HOA water rights and you can water your lawn. There are also the beauty of the neighborhoods, which people totally appreciate. My HOA that I just moved from was super strict. That was the bad. The good was our home's value was kept way up because we were a cheap builder and a nice sub. The HOAs do have their place. Now, you do have to decide how strict of an HOA you want to live in, but most times there are HOA costs, even if it's just $50 a year to get some water. And so you don't necessarily want to say, I will not live in an HOA. You just want to be very aware of what the neighborhood looks like, and that's usually what you guys are trying to say. So keep that in mind. HOAs are a good thing. HOAs can be a bad thing, but you want to make sure that the neighborhood feels right to you. Also remember, when you're dealing with HOA, we don't have Melrose, we don't have all these extra taxes and things. So when people compare their monthly bills, it is quite a bit different here in Boise. We don't have, Melrose can be like $200 to $1,000 just from the research I've done. You don't want to get caught up in, oh shoot, the interest rate went up 0.25% today. Interest rates are down 1/8% today. Don't get caught up in that. Cost of living in Idaho is way down compared to California, compared to Washington, compared to wherever you're coming from usually. But we do have lower cost of living. Rentals, let's talk those for a second. Rentals, you could get a good decent little house for $1,200-$1,400. Now that price has gone up to $1,800-$2,200 for just the kind of the bare minimum 3-bed, 2-bath in the Boise Valley. If you're wanting higher, the sky's the limit, but that kind of gives you a baseline to compare what it used to be and what it is now. And a quick intermission for myself. I am Brian Hymas, born and raised here in the Boise Valley. I've been doing real estate for over 8 years as a real estate agent for over 5 and as an appraiser for about 3. And guys, I love Boise, I love real estate, I love making these videos because telling you everything there is about Boise is fun, is super exciting, and helping you guys become Idahoans is a dream of yours that I'm happy to help you guys embark on. So if you guys are wanting to move to Boise, there is no greater compliment that I can receive than to help you in your journey to Idaho than to get a text, a phone call, or an email at the number on your screen, 208-213-2092, or my email, brian@brianhymas.com. I would love to help you out to make that move and transition to Idaho, become Idahoans, full-fledged Idahoans with driver's licenses, houses, cars, license plates, the whole kit and caboodle to make you guys' dreams come true. If you need help, please reach out. There is no greater compliment that I can receive. Tuition for a full year is over $8,000 for Boise State. If you're a non-resident, however, that jumps up to over $25,000 a year. College is expensive. Start saving now. Get those college funds ready. And speaking of college funds, is there a better way to put a kid through school than to buy a rental now and produce income and put it into a fund? There's a way to do it to save. Instead of doing these college funds, you actually can buy a house. They can pay down your mortgage. They can have the appreciation of the house, and you can get monthly cash flow. This house can act as a college fund while you're cash flowing and giving it to the kid for money, and then you're also getting the appreciation off the house. This is a win-win, getting houses for kids' college tuition. This is a plan that's been repeated over and over again, a plan that you should probably consider. Property taxes, I just got that one in the mail yesterday. Right now, property taxes are going up. They're still considerably lower. I had one person from California say, would you be surprised if I told you mine was less? Yes, I would. Remember, property taxes in Idaho, the first $125,000 of your assessed value is not taxed off your primary residence. And so let's make things easy. Let's say you buy a $500,000 home. They assess it at $450,000, and then it's your primary residence. So you go $450,000 minus $125,000. That means it's $325,000. Your taxes are roughly 1% of that $325,000, so making about $3,000. That's how the taxes work around here. It's not always that way. It's 1%, but it's also budget-based taxes. And so if you are usually less than that because we're budget-based and not just levy-based. I can go into more details on that later, but basically it saves you money and we're a balanced budget in Idaho. Looking at the Idaho taxes, you're looking at anywhere from 1% to 6.5%, and then depending on how much you make that month, if you're single or married, it will differ. Take a look at the charts. You can see that the single person who makes $7,900 a month is taxed at 6.5%, but however, that number is doubled if you are married. So if you're married, the bracket for your taxable income rises. According to the US Census data, the median income in Boise is around 60 grand. You can see that number jump up to about 90 grand in Eagle. So you have this range of about, there's probably less than Boise as well, but 60 to 90 grand for range of value for incomes here. 2 quick little tips for you about money and inflation. 2 tips that have saved me a ton. 1, budgeting. Use a budget, whether it's Dave Ramsey's envelope system, whether it's online tracking with mint.com. I've done both of them. Doesn't really matter for me as long as I'm tracking. If I'm tracking, I save tons of money because it hurts more to see that money out. When it's just a credit card swipe and a credit card swipe here or there, it really is easy to lose track of that money. Really, really easy. Ask your wife how many pillows she has. Now, another tip for you is don't eat out as much. When you're driving by that restaurant and you're heading home, did you know how much you're gonna save? I mean, 30 to 50 bucks for a dinner for your family, and you could do it for $5 at home. That's a ton of money. Do that 10 times a month, 25 times 10, that's 250 bucks a month. That's 3,000 bucks a year. That's a lot of money. So for those of you who are watching who are local, what do you think about the cost of living and how really I painted the picture? And people from coming out of state, is this a state that still seems desirable? Are you guys wanting to head here? Tell me in the comments below. And for your next video, you should probably head and watch the top 7 FAQ, people moving to Boise. That video is there. Click that video, watch it now. If you are moving to the Boise Valley and you are looking to become an Idahoan and make all your dreams come true, there is no greater compliment that I receive than a phone call, text, or email telling me that you're doing such and that you want me to help you in that process. My number is 208-213-2092. Email brian@brianhymas.com. I would eagerly look forward to the opportunity to help you and put you on track on the easy 1, 2, 3 buying process that puts you into a home as quickly and as seamlessly as possible. It is a process that is tried and proven and effective. It helps you not miss out on homes, helps you not buy a lemon, and it helps you not overpay for a home. It really is the best process out there. And it all starts with you contacting me, then we'll do a Zoom call. And by the time you get to Boise, we're already going to have talked a few times and we're going to be on the same page. So we hit the ground running right when you come to Boise. So if that's your dream, I'm your man. Give me a call, give me an email, and we will get this party started. Now we do have a growing family, so some of that cost going up is based on our bodies getting bigger and our tummies getting big. Huh? Now we do have a bigger family, so that does mean stomachs are, you're buying eggs that have been shipped if they... Let's talk home prices. It's something I'm fully engaged in. It's something you guys are very... Let's talk... All right, let's talk home... I already said home prices.